Stop. Don't scroll right now. It feels like God Himself has placed this exact moment in front of you just for you. Take a slow, deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart rest for a moment. And gently place down the heavy stone you have been carrying inside for so long. Listen closely today, not with your ears, but with your heart, because these words are meant for you alone. Life was never as simple as it looked from the outside. People see your smile, your strength, your effort, your routine, and they assume everything is fine. But they never see the quiet nights when the world goes silent, the phone stops ringing, the room grows dark, and all the hidden pain inside you wakes up again. Those moments when you wish someone would truly see you and ask, "How are you really doing?" There were nights you cried without making a sound, hiding your face, wondering how much longer you could keep going. Since childhood, you tried harder than most, believing that being good, being obedient, being strong would make you worthy of love. Yet even then you felt invisible, not chosen, not first. Then you grew older and love entered your life. You trusted deeply. You gave everything you had, believing this time someone would stay. But somehow you ended up alone again. Maybe it ended with a single message. Maybe they slowly faded away without explanation, and you were left questioning yourself, asking if something was wrong with you. Friends, too, were not always there. The ones you stood by disappeared when you needed them most, and you started wondering if you only mattered when someone needed something from you. Then came the weight of studies, career, responsibilities, expectations, the future. You worked hard. You tried again and again, each time hoping this would be the moment everything changed. Yet disappointment returned. And still you kept sacrificing your dreams for others, putting family first, only to hear that it was never enough. All these moments, all these words built a mountain inside your heart. But listen carefully now. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not useless. You are still standing, and that itself is a victory many cannot understand. Every tear you hid, every pain you carried, every day you chose to continue has meaning, even if you cannot see it yet. One day you will look back and realize how strong you were. One day today's pain will be part of a story you survived, and you will tell someone else to hold on, because better days do come. An opportunity will arrive, a new beginning will unfold. Someone will finally understand you. A place where you are valued will find you. Peace will slowly return to your home. Your heart will feel lighter. Sleep will become calmer again. This storm will not last forever. Darkness never stays forever. Dawn always comes. Forgive yourself today. Tell yourself that you are enough. What you are doing right now is enough. Healing does not happen in a single day, but it does happen. You have not given up yet, and that matters. You are not alone, even when it feels that way. Better days are already moving toward you. Stay with me a little longer. Let the noise fade. You do not need to rush. Sometimes we forget how tired we are because we are busy surviving. You did not plan for life to be this heavy, but responsibilities grew, expectations piled up, and still you kept moving forward. Think about your silent victories, the days you showed up without strength, the times you helped others while hurting inside. These moments matter. Growth often happens quietly, like roots forming underground. Healing comes in small steps, not big miracles. Maybe tomorrow will still feel heavy, maybe next week too, but not forever. Storms pass, wounds soften, hope remains. One day you will smile without forcing it, and realize you survived something that once felt impossible. Your worth is not measured by speed, money, or perfection. Your worth is simply in being someone who keeps trying, who still hopes, and hope is powerful. Hold on to even a small piece of it. Rest, breathe, take the next small step, and slowly life will shift. Conversation by conversation, moment by moment, until one day you stand in a place you once only imagined,
and you will be grateful you stayed. You will be grateful you did not quit. Your journey is not ending here, it is still unfolding, and better days are quietly finding their way to you. And as time slowly moves forward, you begin to notice small changes inside you. Even if life around you looks the same, your breathing becomes a little deeper, your heart feels slightly less heavy. You start realizing that surviving was never a small thing. Every morning you opened your eyes despite exhaustion was an act of courage. You carried responsibilities that were never meant for one person alone, yet you carried them quietly, without asking for praise, without asking for recognition. There were moments you felt forgotten, overlooked, unseen, but even then something inside you refused to give up. That quiet strength inside you has been guiding you through every dark corridor of life. Even when you didn't know where you were going, you kept walking, you kept showing up, you kept believing, even when belief felt painful. Remember how many times you thought you could not handle one more day, yet here you are, breathing, listening, still standing. That means something deeper than words can explain. You are not behind in life, you are not late, you are not failing. You are simply growing at your own pace. Some people bloom early, some bloom later, and some bloom after surviving storms that would have destroyed others. Your timing is not wrong. It is meaningful. Everything you are experiencing is shaping you for something ahead, something that requires depth, patience, empathy, and strength. Qualities you already have, even if you doubt them now. One day you will wake up and feel lighter, not because life is perfect, but because you are stronger, calmer, wiser. One day you will look back at this season and realize it taught you how to stand alone, how to trust yourself, how to keep going without external validation. You will learn that peace does not come from everything working out, but from knowing you can handle whatever comes next. Slowly, opportunities will align. Conversations will feel different. People will see you differently because you see yourself differently. Confidence will grow quietly inside you. Not loud, not arrogant, but steady and grounded. You will stop apologizing for needing rest, for needing space, for being human. You will understand that asking for help does not make you weak, it makes you real. There will be moments of joy that arrive unexpectedly. A laugh that feels genuine, a conversation that feels safe, a silence that feels peaceful. These moments will remind you why you stayed, why you endured, why you kept breathing through the pain. Your heart will soften again, not in a fragile way, but in a healed way, capable of love without losing itself, capable of trust without forgetting lessons learned. You will start choosing yourself without guilt, setting boundaries without fear, walking away from what drains you and moving toward what nourishes you. And slowly life will respond. Doors will open, paths will clear, and even when challenges appear, you will face them with a calm strength you once thought you lacked, because you earned it, through survival, through patience, through nights you thought would never end. So stay here with this breath, with this moment. Allow yourself to rest, without pressure, without expectations. You do not need to prove anything right now. Just existing is enough. Just staying is enough. Your story is still being written, and the chapters ahead carry growth, healing, and quiet happiness. You may not see it yet, but it is already forming, already moving toward you. Trust that. Trust yourself. Trust the journey. And when you are ready, take the next step gently, knowing you are supported by your own resilience and the unseen grace that has carried you this far.
And slowly, as minutes pass, your body begins to remember what calm feels like. Not the kind of calm that comes from everything being perfect, but the calm that comes from acceptance. You start understanding that you were never meant to carry everything alone, yet you did. And that endurance changed you in ways you could not see before. There were seasons when you felt invisible, seasons when effort brought no reward, seasons when silence was your only companion. But even in those moments, something unseen was shaping your inner strength. Patience was being built, empathy was deepening, resilience was forming. You learned how to stand when support was missing, how to continue when motivation disappeared, how to breathe when hope felt distant. These lessons did not come gently, but they stayed with you, quietly, becoming part of who you are now. You are no longer the same person who once felt lost. You have depth now. You have awareness now. You have an understanding of pain that allows you to be kind to yourself and others. You may still feel tired some days. You may still feel uncertain, but you are no longer empty. You are becoming full of wisdom earned through experience. There will come a time when life feels steady again. Routines will no longer feel heavy. Mornings will feel less rushed. Evenings will feel softer. You will begin to enjoy small things without guilt. A warm drink, a quiet room, a familiar voice. And these small moments will slowly stitch your heart back together. You will realize that healing was happening all along, even when you thought nothing was changing. Your mind will grow quieter. Your thoughts will become less harsh toward yourself. You will stop replaying every mistake and start honoring every effort you made to survive. You will accept that the past cannot be rewritten, but it does not have to be relived either. It can simply be acknowledged and released. You are allowed to move forward without carrying everything with you. You are allowed to choose peace, even if others do not understand. You are allowed to rest, even if the world keeps moving fast. This life is not a race, and you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, learning what you need to learn, becoming who you are meant to become. Strength is no longer forcing yourself to keep going. Strength now is knowing when to slow down, when to breathe, when to say enough. You will start trusting your inner voice again, the one that was drowned out by fear and expectation. That voice will guide you toward healthier choices, calmer paths, and relationships that feel safe. You will feel less need to explain yourself, less need to prove your worth, because deep inside you will finally know it. And when challenges come, as they always do, you will face them differently. Not with panic, but with presence. Not with self-blame, but with clarity. Because you have already survived so much, and you know now that you can survive again if needed. But more than survival, you are moving toward living, toward a life that feels aligned, gentle, and honest. So stay here in this moment. Let your breathing remain slow. Let your heart feel supported. You do not need to rush. The next step will appear when you are ready. And until then, you are safe to rest. You are safe to heal. You are safe to simply be. And as you stay with this stillness a little longer, you begin to notice how your heart is no longer fighting as hard as before. The weight is still there, but it feels softer, more manageable, like something you are learning to carry without letting it crush you. You start realizing that you do not have to have everything figured out to move forward. You only need honesty with yourself. You only need the willingness to take one small step at a time. There were moments in your life when you felt you had to be strong for everyone, when showing weakness felt dangerous, when resting felt like failure. But now you are slowly unlearning that survival mode. You are learning that rest is not quitting, that slowing down is not falling behind, that choosing yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. You have spent so much time listening to what others needed, what others expected, what others demanded, that you forgot to ask yourself, what do I need right now? And even asking that question feels new, unfamiliar. But it is the beginning of healing. Your nervous system is slowly calming. Your mind is learning to let go of constant alertness. You are not in danger right now. You are not being chased by the past. You are here, breathing, safe in this moment. And that awareness alone is powerful. You will begin to notice that certain worries no longer control you like they used to. Certain fears lose their grip. Certain memories no longer hurt as sharply as before. This does not mean they never mattered. It means you are growing around them. You are becoming bigger than the pain that once defined you. And as this happens, you will start attracting different energy, different people, different opportunities. Not because you changed who you are, but because you finally stopped abandoning yourself. You will feel drawn toward environments that feel calm, toward conversations that feel respectful, toward goals that feel aligned with your values. You will stop chasing validation and start building inner security. You will understand that you do not need to earn your right to exist. Your presence alone has value. There will be days when old feelings return, moments when doubt whispers again. But now you will know how to sit with those feelings without letting them consume you. You will breathe through them. You will remind yourself that emotions are temporary, that you have survived worse, that this too will pass. You are learning emotional maturity, emotional resilience, emotional balance. These are not things taught easily. They are learned through lived experience, through hardship, through patience. And one day you will notice that you react less and respond more, that you pause before judging yourself, that you choose compassion over criticism.
And in that quiet shift, your life will begin to feel different. Lighter, steadier, more grounded. You will still have goals, still have responsibilities, still have challenges, but they will no longer feel like threats. They will feel like parts of a journey you are capable of walking. So remain here with this breath. Allow this calm to settle deeper into your body. Allow your shoulders to drop, your jaw to relax, your thoughts to slow. You do not need to rush. The transformation is already happening, even in moments of stillness, even in silence, even now.
And with every quiet breath you take, your body slowly remembers that it is allowed to feel safe, that it is allowed to soften. You are no longer carrying the same fear that once kept you tense all the time. You begin to understand that the constant pressure you lived under was never your natural state. It was something you adapted to in order to survive. And now, survival is slowly turning into healing. You notice how your thoughts move more slowly, how your chest feels less tight, how your heartbeat finds a calmer rhythm. This is not weakness. This is recovery. You have spent years being alert, ready, prepared for disappointment, prepared for loss, prepared for pain. And now your system is learning a new language, the language of ease, the language of patience, the language of self-trust. You start to realize that you do not need to replay the past to protect yourself anymore. Those memories can rest. They do not need to work so hard. You have learned what you needed to learn from them, and you are allowed to move forward, lighter. You will notice that your inner voice becomes gentler. It no longer attacks you for being tired. It no longer shames you for slowing down. Instead, it begins to sound supportive, understanding, steady. This is the voice you always needed, the one that says it is okay to take your time. It is okay to rest. It is okay to grow slowly. You begin to treat yourself with the same compassion you once gave so freely to others. And this shift changes everything. Your energy becomes calmer. Your presence becomes stronger. People will feel it without you saying a word. Opportunities will come, not because you chase them desperately, but because you are now aligned with yourself. You are no longer fighting who you are. You are no longer trying to prove your worth. You are simply living honestly, and that honesty creates peace. There will still be moments of uncertainty, moments where the future feels unclear. But instead of fear, you will meet them with curiosity. Instead of panic, you will meet them with trust. Because deep down, you now know that you can handle what comes. You always have. You will start waking up with less dread. You will move through your days with more awareness. You will notice beauty again, in ordinary moments, in light through a window, in quiet mornings, in simple conversations. These moments will remind you that life was never only about struggle. It was also about presence, about noticing, about being alive. You are slowly reconnecting with yourself, the part of you that existed before all the pressure, before all the expectations, before all the pain. And that reconnection brings a deep sense of grounding. You feel more at home in your own body, more at peace in your own mind. You stop running from silence because silence no longer feels empty. It feels restful. It feels safe. And as this calm settles deeper, you will understand that you are not waiting for life to begin. Life is already happening. In this breath, in this moment, in this quiet awareness. You are here, and that is enough. And as this sense of grounding deepens, you begin to notice how your relationship with time slowly changes. You are no longer racing against it or feeling chased by it. Moments stretch gently, allowing you to be present within them. You start trusting that you do not have to force outcomes for things to unfold. You learn that effort and surrender can exist together, that doing your best does not require exhaustion, that commitment does not require self-sacrifice to the point of pain. You begin to recognize patterns from the past, patterns of overgiving, overthinking, overworking, and you gently choose differently now, not out of anger toward your past self, but out of respect for who you are becoming.
You realize that the version of you who struggled was doing everything possible to survive, and that deserves understanding, not judgment. With this understanding comes forgiveness. Forgiveness for mistakes, forgiveness for delays, forgiveness for choices made under pressure. You stop holding yourself hostage to what could have been and allow yourself to stand fully in what is. You start noticing how your body responds when you choose peace. Your shoulders drop, your breathing steadies, your thoughts become clearer. This is your inner guidance, showing you the path that feels right. You begin listening to it more often, trusting that you do not need external permission to follow what brings you balance. There will be times when progress feels invisible, when days blend together without obvious change. But even then, something inside you is reorganizing, strengthening, preparing you. You are learning consistency without harshness, discipline without punishment, ambition without self-destruction. This is a new way of living, and it takes patience. There will be moments when old habits call you back, when stress tries to pull you into familiar chaos. But now you pause, you breathe, you remember that you have a choice, and that pause changes everything. Slowly you build a life that feels sustainable, a rhythm that honors your limits and your dreams. You will notice that your goals become clearer, not because you forced clarity, but because your mind is no longer crowded with fear. You begin to imagine a future that feels possible, not perfect, but real. A future where you are steady, present, and engaged with life, rather than constantly bracing against it. You begin to show up as yourself, without shrinking, without performing, without hiding, and that authenticity becomes your strength. People respond to it, opportunities align with it. You are no longer trying to fit into spaces that exhaust you. You are creating space within yourself, and that space allows growth, creativity, and calm to coexist. So stay here with this awareness. Let it settle further. Let it become familiar. This is not a temporary state. This is a foundation you are building, breath by breath, choice by choice. And even when the road ahead feels long, you now walk it with trust, knowing that you are capable, supported, and becoming more aligned with every step.